Hi there. You look like you could use a vacation. Well, I have just a deal for you. Come aboard the SS Digesto for only $149.99 as we voyage across the digestive tract. The first stop is Salivary Springs, a wonderful, relaxing resort. Kick back and relax to the gentle sound of mushing nutrients by the teeth. This is the station in which nutrients are crushed and torn down physically through the crunching of the teeth, which is why it is important to be cautious when approaching the stunning oral mountain range. Safety barriers have been put in place to aid in these complications. Chemical digestion also occurs in the salivary springs through the enzyme amylase, which is emitted from the salivary glands. This enzyme permits the chemical breakdown of starches into sugars. This enzyme is produced in the pancreas. Next up, buckle up for the world-renowned ride, the esophagus plummet. The ride begins just outside of Salivary Springs, at the pharynx, commonly known as the throat. To make sure we are on course for the digestive system cruise, and not the respiratory system cruise, which, by the way, you can take for only $249.99. A little tissue called the epiglottis blocks the passageway into the trachea and directs us towards the esophagus. Next, you will feel a series of muscular contractions, pushing us down the esophagus. This is called peristalsis, and it permits movements in many organs on this ride. Have fun because this ride is roughly 5 seconds long before you are in the stomach. Now we are in the stomach, a muscle where nutrients are broken down chemically by enzymes and secretions such as pepsin and hydrochloric acid, as well as mechanically through the churning and contracting of the muscle's walls. Pepsin aids in the breaking down of proteins, whereas hydrochloric acid works to destroy any harmful bacteria in the foods. Once digestive enzymes are mixed together with hydrochloric acid and water, they form gastric juice. But wait! It is very important that you do not touch this solution, as it contains a very low pH, thus being very acidic. However, don't worry, the cruise contains an enteric-coated outside, which does not dissolve by the gastric juice. For $29.99, you can go gastro diving with an enteric-coated suit. Who knows what you will find? Next, we will be moving on to the small intestine through the pyloric sphincter. Once we enter the small intestine, you may notice a stinky green-like solution emitting from above. That substance is bile, and it's essential in the emulsification of fats. It is produced in the liver and stored in the gallbladder. We advise that you wear our Odor Eliminator 2000 mask during this portion of the trip. Once we have left the beginning of the small intestine, also known as the duodenum, we will begin entering the jejunum. This is the section in which most of the nutrients are absorbed through small structures known as villi. The nutrients will be absorbed into the bloodstream through these structures. Then they will be assimilated into new cells in the human body. Once we have passed the last part of the small intestine, called the ileum, you may notice that the intestine has gotten wider. This is because we are now in the large intestine. The large intestine is where water is absorbed and any remaining nutrients are absorbed. Feces is then made through the mixture of residual waste from the nutrients and bacteria in the large intestine. Food is then transported to the rectum for storage of feces. The rectum is the connection between the large intestine and the anus, and is controlled by an internal and an external sphincter, which controls the exit of feces out and in the rectum.
Thank you for joining us on Digestive System Cruises. This whole cruise takes roughly 1.5 days to 2.5 days, and be sure to join us for our next cruise, the Respiratory System Cruise. Thank you, and have a good day.